sorry, it's crazy lighting. I apologize.
If anybody wants to come up, feel free.
I'll have a seat. This is awesome. This is a show called Games We Play, obviously. And all the pieces in this set are about interacting with others and how we affect each other and how we deal with each other. All the music from in this show is music from Francois Leroux, the man of South Africa. He does annual global tours, and most of the pieces in the show are from his live concerts in Chicago from October 16, 2011. And when it comes to Games We Play, the first piece I thought would be appropriate was called Ever Since You Got Me.
Look here, I'm sorry.
I've been hanging around here ever since you got me, when the two of you were first happy. Every once in a while, one of you would look at me, reflect on what it was like, and I think you smiled then. I sit here now, looking out at your world, seeing how you live now, and I wonder, because I don't think you notice it, but I see the changes of how you live now. I don't think you're unhappy. I can't tell. I can tell that you're not really happy, but I don't think you want to end your life or anything. But as I was saying, though I can't see much from where I'm at, I don't think you're unhappy, but you don't seem to have the same pep in your step. I think that both of you have lost something. I only know this because look at me. I know what you looked like then. Your faces and your happiness is burned into me forever. The two of you holding each other and beaming with happiness like the whole world's ahead of you. Wait, is that it? Isn't that life is passing you by? I mean, I think I understand. I know that I'm fading with each passing year. But I look at the two of you walking around like you're drones now, going through the motions, not looking like life is in your hands, like the way you did when you created me. Was the volume level for the music okay? Because I can't really tell. There's a lot of things I don't know. Can it be heard? Can it be heard? Well, I can't. I'm behind it and I don't know what's up. So I wanted to say that I have a teddy bear here. And some of you know this monster. I know, like, some of you have seen this. He is named after the novel title that's on his shirt. He's the Key to Believing Bear. And I brought it along with me because someone else took the Key to Believing Bear around the country a while ago and they photographed him. And he was a partying drunk in the book, The Adventures of the Key to Believing Bear. This isn't my stuff. I mean, I'll just go to pages and be like, oh, there he is. He's always paying for a bill at Hooters because there were girls there, and, oh, I drank too much. And, I mean, the whole thing is like going out and drinking too much. This is like the story of the Key to Believing Bear. So I figured since it's St. Patrick's Day, it's a day for drinking and celebration, you should definitely at least come along for the party. So he's here with me. But the next two poems, they just kind of flow into one another. I mean, and so does the music, so I'm just going to have the music be all in one spot. Because even though these poems are not about the same thing, they so sound like they should be. So the next pieces that you're going to hear are called No You Only Got Me and Now That You Got Me. You know you only got me because it seemed obvious that you really needed someone to hold on to. And I loved how you held me, how you were so infatuated with me, how you curled up with me, how you caressed me. I liked that, I have feelings too, and it was nice to give you something to lean on when you felt alone. But I've noticed that as more time has passed, you've spent less time with me, and I think I know why. I think you've realized now that you only got me because I could only be a distraction so that you wouldn't think about being alone. I'm really getting a little pissed off by the lack of attention I've been getting from you. I mean, I I know you talked about how much you needed me more in your life, how you needed me around more to make this place we now share a little more homey, look like we belonged here together. But now that you got me, you barely pay any attention to me at all. It's been so depressing now. I think I'd like to wallow in liquor, but you only occasionally bring me the drink I need. I often feel parched to my veins, but no one hears my screams and no one comes to help me when I need it most. I've become an afterthought to you, I think, but I do thank you for the occasional effort. You know how I like to hang out in the sun, and I think it's cute how you try to take care of me and clean me up when I'm exhausted. But maybe I wouldn't seem to be on the edge like that if you cared about me more often. And the thing is, just feeling you near me, sensing your breath, gives me life. And I hate how my dependence on you is so basic and banal that I seem like a groupie. And no, I'm not a stalker, because I wait for you to make your move, to come to me. I need you to make that move on me. I really need you there for me, or I think I might die. You said you wanted me to bring some life into your existence, and I think, in a way, we're both somehow dependent on each other. Please, you don't hear me when I beg, but maybe we can somehow both bring a little more life into each other again. Let the stuff right out here. And you see, most of my poetry sounds more like prose, or like the news. I mean, I'm a journalist, so I'm more about telling a story to people. Like Twitter-length poems. That's why I don't write poetry. I don't want to let things sink in. I'm shallow that way. I don't need to face things that way. Just let it glide over me. So you see, that was an example of a Twitter link poem that I write. That's why I bothered getting a Twitter account in the first place, to see if I could do that. But this next piece is actually a news poem. And I needed to tell you beforehand, I even have it written here, that 2 lines from this piece are lines from Sid Yiddish, who we heard earlier. He performed them in his last feature at the Cafe Gallery Cabaret on the cool date, February 29th. He said it was cool if I used these lines, but I wanted to give a credit beforehand. So if you hear 2 lines toward the end of this poem that rhyme, because that's not my thing usually, they are lines from Sid Yiddish here in this news poem of mine, which is called Grandmother Charged with Murder. Just heard a grandmother was charged with the murder of her granddaughter. You see, she caught the 9-year-old girl eating chocolate. So, to punish her, she made her carry a bunch of firewood in both arms as she ran back and forth in her backyard. Without even giving her water, her granddaughter died of cardiac arrest and dehydration. But then again, they also just heard that a mother was arrested for allegedly giving her children heroin before they got on the bus for school. I'm sorry. I don't study the masters. I just study the disasters as I eat my dark chocolates and observe. I would have shared chocolate with you, but the stuff I wanted isn't available in Chicago yet. I was so depressed. I was going to give everybody dark chocolate mint M&Ms because I found them in Alabama when traveling. They're not available in Chicago yet. I was searching. That was why I'm late today.
They used to have ones called Royals, and they were mint. They weren't dark chocolate, but they were mint.
They might be in Treasure Island. I have no idea. But anyway, you know, I wanted people to have that, and I know that, you know, I'm not Irish, but I like to use it as an excuse for drinking. You're in green, my other feature lady's in green, and she's got weeds. So, but speaking of, since I was talking about St. Patrick's Day, the next poem is an older poem of mine. I don't usually do newer, older ones, but this next poem is the only poem that I have that actually mentions St. Patrick's Day. though it's not about what you'd think. So this next piece is called Flooded War Memories. It was St. Patrick's Day. Went to another country to see you. Met up with you at a hotel. It was like we were never apart. We talked like old friends, old wartime veterans who fought in a war together, who shared our life stories while sitting in the trench together waiting for a bomb to strike. It was St. Patrick's Day, and everything seemed normal and right. Even though you were far away, and even though we had different life plans. It was St. Patrick's Day, and I remember you laying down in a bathtub like a little boy, splashing and playing in the water, not even flinching that I was there talking to you while you were naked in the bathtub. It was St. Patrick's Day. I wanted to get out, see the town, and you didn't want to move, content in a dingy hotel room. All I could think was that it was St. Patrick's Day, and I was in another country. I wanted to get up and go. And I don't know what snapped in you on St. Patrick's Day, but I was in a dress, ready to go, and you knocked me down. I remember being knocked onto one of those hotel beds in my pantyhose and dress, and you strangled me. Strangulation is personal and passionate, but it was like you were in the war again and you were fighting to the death. But I thought we were on the same side. Why are you trying to hurt me? And like a bulldog that finally listened to the commands of their master, you finally stopped, and there I was, your ally. And that was the one that sat in the trenches with you all those years ago, torn pantyhose, bloody knees. I never thought you'd fight one of your buddies. I swear. I got out and called for backup at the hotel lobby. At the payphone, an older woman came up to me, asking if I was all right. Her question stopped me from hyperventilating. I looked down at my torn hose, bloody knees, and I said, I'm fine. I just knew I had to get out of there before more shells fell. I like to, if people know me from my shows at all, I like to incorporate astronomy whenever I can into my shows. And this next piece is an edited poem from a poem adapted from prose that I read in the 2005 show, How Do I Get There? So this piece is called Love Affair with the Moon, 2012. How do we understand this love for what we see in the night sky? I think everyone loves the moon, and I think everyone was transfixed to their televisions or radios when we made that first one small step for man, that one giant leap for mankind. You know, scientists at NASA during the Cold War considered it setting off nuclear bombs on the dark side of the moon. Because, you see, no one sees that side of the moon, and it would be a safe distance from the Earth. But what would that do to our weather or our orbit? An earthquake that caused a devastating tsunami in Asia slowed the rotation of this planet for a full second. And they say committing nuclear atrocities on the moon would have no effect on the Earth. Our calendars have leap years because we can't get the time right. And soon, we even have to add a few seconds to one day to adjust our calendar to the slowing of the Earth's rotation. Speaking of, astronomers now estimate that because of gravity's change, the moon every year is almost 4 centimeters farther away from the Earth. So, if you remember the moon looking so big when you looked at it in the night sky when you were little. Well, you may have been right. Astronomy is like a forbidden love affair, something whose constancy can give you hope, even when you're only standing outside in the night and looking up at its perennial beauty. It is something one person may never actually touch, but it is something we can always, like star-crossed lovers, admire from afar. Thank you. The last two pieces I'm reading have music not from Francois Leroux performing live, but from the Haman's CD release titled Beauty, which I think is perfect for this next poem I did in my 2011-11-20 show called at the Cafe. The poem is titled Beauty in the Eyes of Einstein. I heard NASA scientists say that Einstein dismissed some of his theories, even some theories we may know all too well. But Einstein didn't like some of his theories because he thought they weren't beautiful. And I wonder, what is beauty? Is it the geomagnetic aberrations of the aurora borealis dancing along the horizon at the Arctic Circle? Is it the way you look at me with those gorgeous doe eyes after we've been apart so long? Is it the scattered collisions from comet Shoemaker leaving 9 into the planet Jupiter? Is it what I feel when your arms are finally around me and I don't ever want to open my eyes and I don't ever want to let go? Is it the eternally changing wisps of volcanic trails from the Saturn moon Titan's atmosphere? Is it the way that listening to the music you make fills me with such energy? Or is it converting matter into pure energy with just the right formula? Einstein believed the most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all art and science. So am I driven to look up at the stars in the night sky, to see stars from billions of years ago, to fall in love every night? Einstein reminds us we are all ruled in what we do by impulses. So, is it how on impulse I move a bit closer to you so I can feel the heat from your body so close to mine? We ask, what is beauty? They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so it makes me wonder. This is the last piece, aptly titled, and I hope I have the volume correct, aptly titled Games We Play. And I want to thank everyone at Cafe Mestizo. Thank you all so much. And I want to thank you. Thank you. And if you want to know anything about Francois Leroux, the Haman of South Africa, or if you want to know anything about the poetry of Mike I run on every other Wednesday, I've got a web address. Come bug me. Anything. I would love to be able to help you out. But this is called Games We Play. This game we play. Don't say you don't know, I know. This game we play, it's written all over your face. No, I don't think anyone else sees it. It's like we're the only ones with the Enigma key. Just you and I. But I don't think you're playing fair. You keep your distance, sound my alarm, give me this feeling like the loss of a missing child. You put me on amber alerts until you come to me again. You kiss me we embrace for too long before you leave me again. And when we're together again, we meet in a crowded room. We remain in opposite corners, act aloof, act like we don't know the other one is just waiting there. So we play this game, almost avoiding each other, until we're alone and we spill ourselves onto each other. And again, we embrace for too long before you leave me again. But all my cards are now on the table. I'm showing you my hand, and no one can see what's on the line. But this game we play, this balancing act, this coming, this going, I'm sorry. Am I the only one feeling this? As we come together, then darts away. The next one is on March 28th. It's on a Wednesday. Tom Arobi is the feature. We've got like 1 or 2 features left of the year because one person gets a feature. It is from 7 to 9 p.m. on every other Wednesday at Gallery Cabaret. If you want to know anything about it, you can just go to http://www.chaoticarts.org/thecafe. Since it used to be run at the cafe. But if you want to know anything, I've got business cards. Let me know. And thank you, thank you, thank you.